GPU prices. Is it going to go back up? Is it still coming down? Has it slowed down? Why is it slowed down? What's going on in the market? Guys, it's so very difficult to say exactly because there's so many different indicators that are just X going to give it to you right now. You just don't know. But guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's going on. GPUs have been the sore topic of conversation for a lot of people with this whole GPU apocalyptica going on. Emotions have been high. People have been high strung, easily irritable. People have been upset, and even people have exited the PC industry or scene altogether because of all of this stuff that's gone on. And there's been narratives that have been pushed and talking about how, well, this was because of shortages of silicon, shortages of wafers, not being able to keep up with demand. And guys, I got to tell you, I agree with one of those things, and it's not being able to keep up with demand. But it wasn't because gamers were the ones that were just this resounding demand. I've been attributing this to cryptocurrencies. And guys, I've been saying the same thing the entire time, and I've had a few of you Gregories try to get in my comment section and try to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I need to do more research, and just one of those YouTubers that spouts off at the mouth. And I just gotta tell you, some of you Gregories out there have just really been making me want to get out the chat. In case you don't know who the chat is, well, I gotta tell you, that's not somebody you want to see. Oh my God. But I find it odd. I find it odd because despite this shortage that was going on, despite these silicon shortage and this wafer shortage that's been happening, well, Nvidia was able to hit, record numbers on their revenue. Somehow, some way. They were even able to get up 106% in sales in their gaming division. Don't believe me? Now, some of you might say, well, the prices went up, so that would make up for the difference in revenue that they were seeing. And, well, here's what I would say to that, guys. We can look at their gross margin here. And if we look at the gross margin, we got 64% compared to 65%, so a 1% difference. So 1% difference in their gross margins and the prices went up as high as they did? No, had nothing to do with it, guys. Nothing. What I would argue here is that Nvidia was not allegedly selling directly to miners, since this article says right here, they were for a fact selling to them. So this would only kind of wrap around to the thing that I would been saying, that Nvidia has been selling them and prioritizing mining operations and not you. So there has been stock, there has been supply, but it's been getting prioritized to miners. Now I'm done patting myself on the back here, but I do want to briefly talk about the GPU prices that could possibly go back up. I put a video out not too long ago talking about this and covering it and giving you guys my position and rationale why I believe this. And I'm not going to go too in depth right now with this, but I basically attribute it to this this link here that the prices have to cryptocurrencies. And we have seen this back in 2017. We saw it all this year. And guys, if Ethereum doesn't move to proof of stake, guys, we're going to see this spill off into 2022 because we are predicted that we could see all-time highs in cryptocurrencies by the end of this year. And if that happens, guys, profitability is going up. People are flooding the market again. And I know China banned Bitcoin, but they're probably going to jump right back in because money. So guys, I don't know what's going to happen there, but if you want to check that video out, my rationale, feel free, check it out. I'll have it linked up there. But there are things that are happening that I believe could continue to help us see these prices drop, even though we are seeing the momentum of the prices that are dropping that has slowed significantly. It has slowed down tremendously, and we can see this in this chart here, at least in relation to Germany. But guys, we can kind of infer kind of the same trends. We're making assumptions here, but they're relatively close all the same. So based off of that information, we have seen a drastic drop, and it looks like it's kind of tapered off a little bit there. But I believe that there's things happening in the background and in the foreground that's happening that we could definitely see prices continue to drop slowly. I don't think we're getting back to the MSRP for a while, but there are things that are happening. And one of those things that's going on, guys, I believe contributing to our continuation of dropping prices, and that's FSR. FSR, if you're not familiar with it, is AMD's answer to NVIDIA's DLSS, which is their upscaling technology, guys. And I got to tell you, this FSR is not a joke. It's not playing around. It's actually doing pretty dang good. And I got to say, yeah, sure, DLSS is better, sure, but it's a more developed technology that's been around, and NVIDIA has been perfecting it, and AMD's made this FSR, and it's doing fairly well. And why I believe this could translate into helping us get lower prices in GPUs is because, well, these people that have this older hardware that's AMD are getting access to this FSR, and well, what's that doing? They now have this access to FSR, which is basically giving them a boost in performance and upscaling technology, allowing them to play games with higher FPS than they were before, which that's why people upgrade. So if they're not necessarily having to upgrade or don't feel like constrained and feel like they are behind as much as they were before, they're probably in a better position to kind of hold off and not have that pressure to upgrade and pay these inflated prices. Well, if people aren't paying inflated prices for stuff, or people aren't choosing to purchase things for the price that you listed them on the market, and you're not getting anywhere with it, well, what do? You drop the prices. So I believe this could definitely have a factor in helping prices continue to drop if people aren't feeling the pressure to upgrade, even though it's actually there and available, because they don't like the prices that's being marked for. So I definitely think that could be a big contributor to it. But I also think that LHR continuing to show up more and more on these new cards that NVIDIA is starting to put out, which I believe they're kind of just trying to save face here at this point. They've made their money, they've set records, so well, let our our pilgrims have their games now, I guess. Well, at least that's my opinion about it. But nonetheless, they're putting them out more and more, and these LHR, which is light hash rate limiters, basically has slashed the hash rate on these GPUs that they're capable of hitting, which, if you guys aren't aware, hash rate is basically what miners are using to mine cryptocurrencies, and they're not getting as much with these particular cards, making them less profitable, so less desirable. So that's definitely going to help, at least with the free grab that's been going on. It'll slow it down just a little bit, which pushed demand down because they've been the big demand with scalpers. So that in hand would help prices continue to go down if there's not as much of a demand for them. Supply and demand, simple economics, as well as the potential of impending doom in the background. And let me explain what I mean by that. Now, what's been going on and why I believe we aren't seeing these bigger miners continue to accumulate and upgrade their operations is because of the impending doom or possibility of Ethereum 2.0 coming, proof of stake, which would basically eliminate mining. It would eliminate it for Ethereum. Ethereum would no longer be a mineable token. And this is what has been pushed or mined a ton lately, so very much lately. So because of this, I believe that, well, we aren't going to see people trying to upscale as much because they're not going to be able to make a return on investment, anticipating that this proof of stake is coming by the end of this year or very soon. They're not going to be able to make up their margins, so they're not going to continue to accumulate. It just doesn't make sense to do. So that's kind of where my rationale is there. And people that are trying to get into the space or new that haven't been, they're stuck with LHR GPUs. So they're not going to want to get those because they're not going to be able to make much profitability on them. So it's kind of getting cut off a little bit. People that have been in the space aren't accumulating anymore because, well, they don't feel like they can get their margins now at this point. They've made their money. They're just going to use what they have and continue to do that. And LHRs definitely making a difference, and FSRs certainly making a difference. And with China cutting off what they had going on and destroying their mining equipment, guys, well, it's just not, there's so many things happening right now that could definitely help continue to drive the price down. So hopefully this all continues to happen. It looks like, you know, if this all continues to push forward like it is, we could see these prices continue to drop lower and lower, assuming this price hike doesn't happen and, you know, market doesn't just act ridiculous to it. But it could happen, but I don't know. You know, there are different things. Like I said, there's a bunch of different stuff going on in the background, pointing different directions, saying that, oh, it could go up, it could go down. So hopefully we do continue to see these things go down. Hopefully you get what you want. Hopefully you get the GPU you're after, and for MSRP, guys, or maybe even below. I hope that for you. That's what I want for you. That's all I got for you guys today. If you do want to continue to get updates about GPU news and prices and what's going on in the market, guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on an update if I put one out. Guys, I do my best to make sure that I don't put a bunch of clickbait titles and thumbnails out there. I know that's the game and that a lot of people like to do that, but that's not the kind of channel I want to run here. I don't like that stuff. I know there's money in it. I get it, but that's not the place I'm trying to build. That's not the channel I'm trying to build here. So guys, if you can respect that, we appreciate that. Hit that like, please. It tells YouTube that I'm a decent channel and they put my video out there more and more for more people to see. So that's all I got. It's a vibe, a tech vibe specifically. We'll see you.